podcast where I dive into music, life-changing moments, and new adventures. I know it's been a long time, I know, since I talked to you guys, and I miss my loving and creative podcast. And I'm happy to be back. In this episode, it's going to be a little bit different because I am reviewing and discussing a little bit about my favorite artist, Kwaye, how his music inspired me and how it's very futuristic and a little bit of vulnerability. Now, before I get into this episode, last week or a couple weeks ago, I asked, what is your favorite Christian or gospel song and why? Let's start the conversation because mine is Keep Holding On by Marvin Sapp. And I feel like there's really no big explanation for me. It's kind of like the title of it. And I feel like whether I'm going through a lot, whether it's up or down or anything that is serious, I feel like God is just telling me keep holding on because you're right there. Just keep holding on to me. Keep having faith. And that's what I love about that song so much. And it's off of Marvin Sapp's Here I Am album. Now let's get back into the episode. According to Wikipedia, Kwaye is a British Zimbabwean singer, songwriter based in Los Angeles. In Intro.co magazine, they describe Kwaye's music creativity as electric, honesty, and vulnerability, which is so true, and I definitely agree with them because when I first started really listening to Kwaye, the first song was Lost in My Boots, and it reminded me of like a 90s ballad classic song. You know how you have Joe, you have Tyrese, you have Donnell Jones, you even have I can't think of his name, but one thing I love about his song Lost in My Boots is just how he captures his voice in a beautiful, soothing yet I think he's a soprano high voice, and that's what I love about his vocals in that song. In Wonderland magazine, his first memory of music, he recalls singing Mama I Love You with his sisters for Mother's Day at the time, and which I find it very delicate and very calming in such a sweet, beautiful way because by the time of this recording, I think Mother's Day has already been passed, but I love that because it's something when you do something for your mother, whether it's something music-wise or caring-wise or whatever, how it is, I just thought that was sweet and beautiful. And I feel like in some of the Kwaye's music, he talks a little bit about his mom or maybe his relationship with his mother, and I think it's very unique. Now, in his Love and Affliction EP or album and his Solar EP or album, some of the songs that stood out to me was Made For It, Keep On Loving You, and Little Ones. What I really loved about Made For It is like right in the beginning you hear the bass guitar, you hear a little bit of the drums, and some of the lyrics that stood out to me was running from who we are. He says that a lot to like either his pre-chorus or right when he's about to say Made For It. And what I liked or why I can relate to that is because sometimes when we're going through, when life just throws a curve or things just hit a bump on the road, we kind of run from the things that we go through. Sometimes we run from like, social events, or we do things out of the ordinary and we just feel like we don't know what we're going through, or we just don't know how to really face it. And that's what I felt like he was saying that in that part of the song, human nature, human behavior. I feel like he's also referring to like society in a way too, like how we do things that's not like our character and we just do it anyways. And we're humans, we do things, but we have to learn how to manage it in such a way where we have to face our challenges, face those things, even when we don't want to, but we know we have to. He also has great metaphors. He talks about the water. He talks about other things like stranger in your bed. And I think what he meant by stranger in your bed, in this lyric as he says stranger in your bed, I also feel like sometimes when you don't really recognize yourself, when you don't know why this is happening, you start to do things that's out of ordinary character and things like that. But listen to this song and tell me your interpretation of Made For It. Now, my favorite other song was Little Ones. To me, it gave like the music video itself reminded me like the 80s a little bit or the 90s. Now, I did not grow up in those times, but because of like how theatrical, also like you know how like in some music videos have like those dancing sequences, like in a like a forget what those type of rooms are, but that's the vibe I got from the music video, especially a lot of dancing. Starts off them like the background dancers in Kwaye dancing in such a different way. And then like the color scheming or the color theory that I noticed, it started off with with black, purple, mainly those type of colors, and then the way he describes a person in his song starts off with a male. Then later on, he'll start dancing with a girl, and then like during the bridge part of the song, let me tell you guys. And as he says, she never really was by the book kind of girl. She was living with two sides, but the woman within she keeps hidden because she doesn't trust the world. She's living in two minds, and what I feel like I can grasp from that side of not only describing like people as like being little, but like as we sometimes get caught up of thinking that we should do things this way when we have a different mindset of how we want to do something. Like we sometimes set high expectations thinking that we should do it this way, or others will influence us say like you need to do it that way, do it that way. But since you I feel like this song reminds me of you having a mind of your own, and don't limit yourself, and to yourself in a box. But I recommend you guys listen to Little Ones. It's on his Solar EP as well. Now we're going on a commercial break before we continue. I want to say, what are some artists that you guys heard of or you guys were recommending me that are new in 2023 to 2024? I am currently listening to Desta French again. It's been a while. She recently put out a new song. I can't pronounce it right now, but sounds interesting. And we'll be back soon. Alright. I'm back. And now let's get to the nitty gritty, a little bit of Kwaye's newest songs and his newest album. Now, he released Learning to Swim a little bit over late 2023, which I was really excited for. I remember when he released Run Away, and Be Easy. These are some of those super excited for. This was before he released Learning to Swim. And back in 2021 or 22, when I listened to Run and Run Away. Run Away to me felt like how I first listened to Lost in My Boots. It was very vulnerable. It was very a ballad where it just sometimes you have that go-to song where it kind of gets you not really to explain it because it's just that good. And I wonder if you guys have a go-to song like that. To me, it was Run Away. A part or a lyric in that song where I'm through with that balancing act that I keeping or acting. And when he said that, I felt like I can relate to that because there are moments where I have like this balancing act, like, oh, I have to have everything together. I have to keep it to be 50 on left and 50 on right to be completely perfect, or at least somewhat in that way. And I'm realizing when I listen to that song, it's not just about keeping up, being balanced. It's about the fact that you have to feel how you feel with your emotions. And that's why I feel like when Intro, Wonderland magazine, and any other new articles have talked about Kwaye's music, definitely sets the tone of not just who he is, but how he continues to grow and how deep he gets in his music. So let's go into the song Run a little bit. I feel like Run feels like a song I can relate to when I need answers or not knowing what I'm doing. You have to put, in his lyrics, he says, you have to put your best foot forward. I felt like he was saying, like, you have to move forward onto new things. And that was like the very first lyric that he says. And I feel like how I listened to the song, one, it was upbeat, new, and pop inspired, a little bit of R&B, but not really. It was more pop than anything. And when I listened to that part in the beginning part of that song and watching the music video, I could tell he's really growing. Like when that came out, you gotta run, you gotta run. It was just like, oh, okay, this ain't the Kwaye who I started to listen to years ago. This is something new. Like I could tell he's fully wearing his dreads down. He letting his hair down a little bit, or he put it up in a long ponytail now, not so much of a bun anymore. He's wearing jackets that are futuristic but still relates to who he is and how he's growing. In the lyric he says white lines in a concrete jungle. I feel like he's saying that there are going to be challenges everywhere you go. Be careful and be aware. As he repeats this lyric, I also love the way he describes his songs using different elements. Like towards the bridge or end of it, he said, it's amazing how we don't go. Where the grass is greener, roots laid there, the roots laid there. He repeats that a few times. And as I'm reading these lyrics, I'm already hearing the song in my head. So that's how much I love the song. And I love how he really uses different elements to different things. Like I felt like the cover of Run, like the cover meaning like the thumbnail of the music video matches fire, but when you watch it, it had water, sand, things like that, you know. A little bit of fire in the background, but mainly it's just I feel like he connects with nature too. So that's my interpretation. Now, last but not least, Be Easy. I really love that song too, because before I get into it, just a little bit of context. I'm still learning how to really be easy on myself. And whoever can relate to this, I want to say this to you too. Take your time with getting to know you, and be confident in yourself. Be confident of the things that you do. Whether it's that putting on that black hat, trying on the new clothes, wearing something you used to wear before. That's how I feel about this song. But let's get into my reflection. This genre, as Genius describes his song, is considered UK R&B and pop, which is true. It's like that fast motion pop. So kind of like how earlier when I mentioned about Sweetest Life, Little Ones. There's another song that he has that has it is pop inspired too. I think he is categorized as pop, UK, R&B, and pop, but I feel like he's much more than that. And I feel like he's recently connecting with his Zimbabwean roots too. If you listen to his song Moses, which is on his Learning to Swim album, just like Be Easy and Run, you would kind of get why I say that. But then again, I can't really say it because I'm not Zimbabwean and I do not know what kind of genre of music that their culture connects with, but I feel like he does connect with his roots a lot. But what I like the most about Be Easy, it really starts off with confidence, with upbeat, pop feeling music, and his lyrics, confidence in myself, confidence in myself. If I don't see it in myself, I will convince myself. I like that so much because sometimes when a person feels a little bit low or they don't not know what they want to do in a day, really. But they put on their clothes, they put on things that makes them feel like they're brighter. Even if they feel a little bit low, they still find a way to be confident in themselves. Sometimes with me, for example, when I'm getting ready to go to work, I put on different earrings to kind of match my attire to work to prove to me that even if today will be a bit hectic or if today will be a little bit unexpected, be who you are, be the girl that God wanted you to be. So that's my take on that. In his second verse, We get a low one time. For the right to let go take time. He is saying that even when we get low sometimes, remain to be easy on ourselves and take our time. And I want people to know God didn't create a spirit of fear, but he created the spirit of love so much that he wanted us to be like him. He wanted us to walk like him. Talk. I do not know what God gave me the gift to be as of right now, but I will say this. Take your time of getting to know the Lord, getting to know yourself a lot more through his eyes. And what I liked about this song, I felt like it relates to that in some way. Though it's not Christian like or it's not gospel. Sometimes some songs Dove does have a uplifting and encouraging message. And sometimes you have to think of it in that way and find a way to what works for you and what doesn't, you know? Be confident in yourself. And to close it all out, I want to say thank you guys for supporting me. I know it's been a while since I posted a podcast, and I promise I will post more and I'll keep you guys updated as always. And in the next episode of Hey Hef, it's more serious but yet uplifting still. I'll be focusing more of the post grad outlook or outlet in a way, and we'll start a conversation there too. So thank you guys for coming in and tuning in tonight or morning or wherever day it is, and I'll be back soon. Have fun and be easy on it.